Welcome once again to your English class. In the previous class, we have read about the Polonius' advice to his son. I'm not going to more recap because I hope you have remember who was Polonius and why he wants to give the advice to his son, because he was shifting to one of the other university in France. If you remember in the previous stanza what he said, he has given him blessings as well as some rules for the behavior, and he said that if you have good friends, keep it with them, keep it all the friends with you and be with those friends. And if you have if you are going to give your thoughts an action, please be aware that what you are going to perform, it should not become vulgar, and don't advise the other persons, keep the thoughts with you, don't give the thoughts a tongue. That means don't involve into another people's actions unless you find it familiar, and if it is good, you are finding it is good, so don't cross the line of the decency. Now these are the other pieces of advice what he has given. But do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new hatched unfledged comrade. But do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new hatched unfledged comrade. Comrade means a friend, a companion. If you can see, unfledged means not proved, hatched, made, newly formed. He is saying that if you find a new friend, go ahead and make the new friendships. But when you make the new friends, don't get involved into their actions without understanding them. Don't become a part of their entertainment if it is not good. Just for the sake of fun, just for the sake of entertainment. Some people used to abuse others, used to hurt others, used to make fun of the others. So he is saying that just don't get involved into the entertainment and don't become a part of entertainment for them. Don't become a mocking thing for them. Don't become a joke for the new found friends. Make friends with the new ones, but unless you understand them, don't get involved into the entertainment what they are involving. New hatched, new made, unfledged, not proved. They are not proven to be worthy of. They are not proven to be trusted or the best friends. So better to maintain a little bit distance. If they are involving you into some or the other acts which you don't find it good, and where you can they can make fun of you, they just enjoy, don't go for that side. Be aware of that things and be aware of this type of the people. Now here this ends here, the piece of advice. This is the next, starting from this line. Beware of entrance to a quarrel. Beware of an entrance to a quarrel means don't get involved into any fights. If people are fighting, just first observe. Don't and you also don't start quarreling with the others. Don't get involved into the quarrel with the others. If you can make the people understand your thought, where is the need to fight? So better to talk to them politely and let them talk to you politely. Don't enter by yourself into any quarrel, but being in. But don't run away from the place. Like, if the people are ready to fight with you, if they are quarreling with you, prove your point. Don't run away from the place. Being in, that means be in the frame of the fight. Be in the frame of the quarrel. Argue with them. Quarrel. If they are quarreling, don't quarrel. Don't enter by yourself. But somebody is quarreling with you. Somebody is arguing with you. So don't run away from the place. Prove your point. Be art that the opposed may beware of thee. Be art that the opposed may beware of thee. That means let the opponent, let the person who is quarreling had a feeling that this person is not an easy one. Let them get fear of you. Let the opponents get a fear of you. It doesn't mean that if somebody is talking to you or quarreling to you, just give a punch to them. No, it is not like that. It means that prove your point by argument. Don't run away from the place like a coward. Be brave enough to stand and enough to take the continue the talk, enough to argue, enough to handle the situation, and make the other person realize if they are wrong, make them realize that you are wrong. and prove your point by proving your own self. It is one of the very great point if you can understand what he wanted to say. Like, by yourself don't start quarreling, don't get into quarrel by your own self. But if suppose somebody is quarreling by you, they are quarreling with you, they wanted to argue with you, so don't run away, be there, stand and take the stand for yourself and prove your point. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Give every man thy ear. That means thy ear means your ear. Listen to everybody. If suppose somebody needs you to talk, if somebody needs you to console them, so go ahead, be with them, accompany them, try to console them, give your ear. That means listen to them, listen their problems, listen their sufferings, listen their troubles, whatever are there, listen to them. But few thy voice, advise only few people, not to everybody, because somebody won't listen to you. So don't give the voice to everyone. Those who can listen to you, give them your voice, not to everyone, not to everybody. So what does it means? If suppose somebody needs you, you are not listening to me, so I will not listen to you. No, this is not done. If somebody needs you, listen them. But if they don't like your advice, don't give them. Don't give the advice, but listen. But we have a habit like, she never listens to me, why should I advise? Or he never listens to me, why should I advise? Why should I listen to him also? At least listen. At least give your ear to that person, to listen that person. So maybe you can get an idea. So how to handle, if you get the same trouble, how to handle that situation. There is no need to give the advice to all the people, but you can get an idea. So just give the listening one, or you can say be a good audience, listen the person and give the advice to very few people. Take each man's censure, but take each man's censure. Censure means views, advice, but reserve thy judgment. Whatever you decided, go for that, but ask for the advices from the others. Because sometimes it happens that it is a human nature, actually it is a human nature, that if suppose we decided something to do and we start taking the advices of the others, and if suppose the person is giving the same advice what we have decided, we will be happy. And if the person is giving the exact opposite advice, we'll feel like that, why they are giving, they don't know my problem, they don't understand me, they have never listened to me properly, that's why they are giving that type of advice. Because as I said, it is a human nature, we wanted the same advice to be given by the people what we thought of. We want everybody to agree with ourselves. Not only agree, we want everybody to appreciate our decision as well. This is human nature. Inside yourself, you had a feeling that whatever I have decided is right. So what he is saying is that whatever the judgment you are taking, your decision, keep the decision, but at least take the advices from the others. So sometimes our decision can get changed because of one of the good advice, or if the advice is very heart touching and thorough understanding. After thorough understanding of our problem, if someone is giving you advice, there is no problem in listening to that person. But here he is advising to the son that take each man's censure, view, advice, opinion of every person, but reserve thy judgment. Keep your decision and judgment to yourself. Let us see that what the other people are advising. Now these two lines are very good lines. What he said here is that costly thy habit as thy purse can buy. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy. How much your purse, how much your amount in the wallet give you the permission, that much only you should buy. Means whatever it is under your budget, buy those things. Buy the things which are under your budget. Don't exceed the budget. Don't cross the limits of the budget. make a certain limits for your budget, then buy the things under your budget, but not expressed in fancy, rich, not gaudy. Very nice lines. But not expressed in fancy. Don't buy all the fancy things, fancy type of the I have seen many of the people have a habit of getting into fancy things, fancy like princess dresses, princess gowns. Will it be comfortable for you? That is the main point. Maybe it is under your budget, but will it be comfortable for you? First check the comfort level. Gowns are varieties of gowns, varieties of dresses are there. But first, whether it is attractive for you, that is good. But the next thing you should check it out, that whether it is comfortable for us. Because you must have seen the models, sometimes they wear such dresses that we wondered, how can the normal person wear that type of the dresses? Because they have such a feathers over here, then wearing such a, you can say, vast gowns and wider ones which cannot able to sit properly and all. Is it possible for the normal human beings to follow those? That is the same thing to be remembered, that whether it is comfortable for you. Maybe under budget but not comfortable. So better to go for the things which can make you look better, make you look rich, make you look good, but not the gaudy ones. Gaudy ones only to show off. Only to show off. What we use for the only showing off. And it should not look something odd one out from the at the place or from the occasion. Like just imagine it out. You are going for shopping. Any of the place you are going for shopping. Do you like to wear the dress which you normally being dressed in marriages and functions for shopping, or for exhibition grounds? Normally we spend a lot of time in exhibition. So what type of dress would you like to wear if you go out for exhibition? Do you like to wear your traditional dresses which we wear in marriages and functions, all the shararas to khara dupattas to all those things? Would you like to wear that one? No, it is not suitable to that place. What does it mean showing that? It is not, it is gaudy at that place. That is only showing off. You are showing such a wrong thing at a wrong place. So if you want, you can well dressed. Well dressed doesn't mean that it should be shining and it should have some stars, something very great on that, some work should be there. You can be decent, you can look good, you can look decent, you can look rich, but don't look gaudy and show off. So he is saying that whatever you are buying, buy the things which are under your budget, which your purse give you the permission to buy. How much money you have, according to that, buy the things. The next is that don't get the fancy things only for the attraction of the people. No, look rich. Okay, you can look rich, you can look good, you can look decent, but don't look gaudy. Don't look that only just showing it off, or just to make the people feel that how she is, what she is wearing, what is he wearing. Is it the right place to wear such a thing? This is the common sense to be. We have to follow that common sense. We have to understand this, where to dress what. That is most important thing, and it shows our, you can say, educational level and our brought up and our mentality. As you become mature enough, you understand what to dress, how to dress, when to dress, where to what dress. So all these, he is giving the advice to the son as well, that whatever you are wearing, look good, look rich, but don't look gaudy and fancy. According to the situation, you should change yourself. These are all the, again, once again, very good pieces of advice. So try to understand this. Again, the same repetition from my side. Please go ahead with the meanings. If you find any more difficult meanings in that, check it out from the dictionary, write down with the pencils and your readers, and try to write down the explanation of this stanza in your own words. In the next class, we will finish it off this Polonius advice to his son, the complete poem. By the time, take care, have a nice day.